You think you arrived here by coincidence. You think you clicked because the title caught your eye, because the algorithm placed this in your feed, because you were simply looking for something to fill your time. But deep down you know that's not the truth. You are here because something greater than randomness has been guiding you. You are here because your future self has reached across time to deliver you to this very moment. Every step, every decision, every so-called accident in your life has led you to right now, and it was never an accident. It was deliberate. The path that brought you here was orchestrated not by chance, but by a deeper intelligence within you, a wisdom that has always known exactly what you needed and exactly when you needed it. You are not just watching or reading something about transformation. You are standing in the middle of transformation itself, unfolding in real time. The instant you become aware of quantum reality, it becomes aware of you. And once this connection is established, nothing in your life will ever look the same again. For too long, you've been taught to believe that life is random, that time is a straight line, that you are merely a spectator being carried along by forces outside your control. You've been taught that the past is fixed, the present is fleeting, and the future is something you stumble into without choice. But that's the greatest illusion ever told. The deeper truth is far more powerful. Time is not a one-way road. Reality is not a series of accidents. You are not a passive character in someone else's story. You are a conscious creator, shaping reality in every moment, connected across all layers of time. Think back to your past week. Think about the strange alignments you dismissed as coincidences. Think about the conversations that happened at just the right time, the ideas that appeared in your mind without explanation, the feelings that seemed to point you toward a choice you couldn't logically justify. These were not accidents. These were breadcrumbs left by your future self, reaching back to guide you. What felt like luck was in fact guidance. What seemed like random chance was your own future calling you into alignment. Quantum reality reveals what classical thinking hides. Your consciousness is not simply observing life as it happens. It is actively participating in the creation of it. And it's not creating just in the present moment. It's creating across all of time simultaneously. Your future self, the version of you that has already stepped into wisdom, clarity, power, and possibility, is sending signals back to this very moment. These signals ripple into your awareness as sudden clarity, as gut instincts, as opportunities that seem to appear from nowhere. And once you awaken to this, you cannot go back to believing in a powerless, random existence. This is why you're here. This is why these words are reaching you now. Something within you already knows this truth. Some deeper part of you recognizes that life is not happening to you. It is happening through you. You are not simply being carried forward by time. Time itself is collaborating with you. Your future self is pulling you toward the highest version of your destiny. And every synchronicity, every intuitive nudge, every inexplicable pull you've felt has been proof of this connection. But here's where so many get stuck. They live as though the future is a place they must wait for, something that will come if they are patient enough, lucky enough, or if external circumstances align in their favor. They live in the illusion that they are separate from what is coming. That illusion is what keeps them repeating the same cycles, trapped in limitation, waiting for change that never arrives. In truth, your future self is already real. The wisdom, the strength, the clarity, the love, the success you've been seeking, it already exists as a frequency in the quantum field, and it is broadcasting itself back into your present moment right now. The question is whether you'll recognize it, whether you'll listen, and whether you'll act, because the future doesn't simply happen to you. The future collaborates with you. Look closely at your own life, and you'll see this collaboration in action. That time you met the right person at the exact right moment, that opportunity that seemed to arrive out of thin air, that sudden idea that shifted everything for you, these were not random. They were orchestrated by your future, echoing back through time to align you. Every moment that feels too perfectly timed to explain logically is evidence of this quantum dialogue happening between who you are now and who you are becoming. And here's the truth that will change how you see everything. The observer and the observed are inseparably connected. Your consciousness is not watching reality unfold like a movie on a screen. Your consciousness is the very force shaping the movie itself. Every thought, every feeling, every choice is rippling into the quantum field and pulling your future into form. The future isn't some far-off destination. It is being shaped right now by your alignment, by your awareness, by your willingness to listen to the voice of your future self. This is why you can no longer dismiss your intuition. This is why you can no longer ignore synchronicities as luck. This is why you can no longer pretend that your thoughts are powerless. Because every time you recognize a synchronicity, every time you follow an intuitive nudge, every time you choose alignment over fear, you are strengthening the connection with your future self. And in that strengthening, your future self is empowered to guide you even more clearly, even more directly. The question is, are you willing to listen? Are you willing to act? Are you willing to trust that there is an intelligence far greater than the limited voice of fear and doubt inside your mind? Because the moment you say yes, the moment you surrender to the possibility that you are not separate from your own future, your life begins to transform. The struggle, the randomness, the powerlessness begins to dissolve, and a new story begins to take shape. This story is not about waiting. It is not about hoping. It is not about wondering if things will ever change. This story is about remembering that you are not a victim of circumstances, remembering that time is not your enemy but your collaborator, remembering that you are already in communication with the highest version of yourself, and remembering that the life you long for is already real. It is simply waiting for you to align with it. And now, here in this moment, that alignment begins, because you are aware, because you are listening, because you are choosing to see the truth that has been whispering to you through every synchronicity and every intuitive nudge. You are no longer asleep in the illusion of randomness. You are awake in the truth of quantum consciousness. And that awakening changes everything. Those quantum signatures ripple backward through time, and they are speaking to you now. They show up as sudden clarity in your mind, as an inner pull you can't quite explain, as opportunities that appear out of nowhere, as people saying the exact words you needed to hear at the exact moment you needed to hear them. These are not accidents. They are proof of the dialogue already happening between you and your future self. And the more you pay attention, the more you realize these signatures operate on multiple levels at once. On the mental level, they appear as thoughts and ideas that feel as though they've been dropped into your mind from nowhere. They are not the recycled chatter of your past, not the endless loops of conditioning, but new insights, alive, fresh, expansive. On the emotional level, they arrive as feelings of knowing, as a magnetic pull toward a choice you can't yet explain, as an unshakable sense that something is right or something is wrong. On the physical level, they manifest as resonance in your body, your heart quickening, your energy rising, your skin tingling, even before your mind has caught up. And on the energetic level, they form anchors in the field of reality itself, drawing into your orbit the people, circumstances, and experiences that carry you forward into alignment with who you are becoming. This is why some people seem to flow effortlessly into opportunities while others struggle. It is not luck. It is not privilege. It is alignment. It is attunement. It is the difference between being stuck in the noise of your past and listening to the frequency of your future. It is the difference between forcing outcomes through struggle and allowing outcomes to arise through synchronicity. But to live in this flow, you must develop a new kind of awareness, a literacy of the quantum field, the ability to distinguish the origin of the signals moving through you. Most people lie trapped in the stream of their past, repeating the same thoughts, the same reactions, the same emotional loops, mistaking old echoes for present reality. They replay the same fears, the same doubts, the same limitations. And because they broadcast the same signatures, they continue to attract the same life, But you are not most people. You are awake now. You are becoming sensitive to the difference between recycled information and living guidance. You can begin to tell when a thought is simply the past echoing itself, when a feeling is simply a reaction to current circumstances, and when a sudden knowing is a transmission from your future. The more you learn to tell the difference, the more powerfully you align with the reality you are meant to live. And here is the most liberating truth. You are not creating your future from scratch. You are remembering it. It already exists. It is already alive in the quantum field. It has already been achieved by the version of you that is whispering to you now. The struggle ends when you stop fighting to build a future that you think does not yet exist and start remembering the future that is already real. Think about how that changes everything. When you believe you must create, you operate from lack, you push against your current circumstances, you fight with what is, you burn your energy trying to force things into existence. And the harder you push, the more resistance you feel. But when you shift into remembering, you begin to flow, you allow, you align. You recognize that your role is not to force outcomes, but to follow the trail of synchronicities, intuitive nudges, and inspired actions that your future self is placing before you. This is the essence of effortless manifestation. It is not that effort disappears, but that your effort becomes aligned with flow rather than opposed to it. You are no longer swimming upstream against the current of time. You are carried downstream toward the inevitable destination your future has already crystallized. Look around at the people who always seem to be in the right place at the right time. The ones who make bold decisions that somehow always work out. The ones who attract opportunities while others struggle endlessly. They are not favored by chance. They have learned, whether consciously or unconsciously, to trust the voice of their future self. They act on the guidance that arrives as subtle whispers. They trust the sudden urges that tell them to move, to speak, to risk, to leap. And because they act, the feedback loop strengthens. Their future becomes clearer. The signals become louder, and alignment becomes their natural state. This is the loop you are now stepping into. A feedback loop of trust, action, alignment, and expansion. Your future self sends signals backward through time. You recognize them, you trust them, you act on them. Those actions empower your future self to rise even higher, which allows even greater signals to ripple back to you, guiding you into even more powerful choices. Over time, the connection becomes seamless. It feels less like guidance from some distant version of yourself, and more like direct access to the deepest truth of who you are. When this happens, you stop experiencing yourself as a linear being trudging through time. You awaken as a multidimensional consciousness, expressing itself across multiple points of time at once. You realize that the you reading these words, the you making choices today, the you already living the life of wisdom and success in the future, they are not separate. They are one. They are facets of the same consciousness, collaborating across time to bring into being the fullness of who you are. And that is why this moment is so powerful, because your awakening is not just for you. Every choice you make in alignment now strengthens the path for the future you, and every signal from your future strengthens the courage and clarity of the you in this moment. You are in dialogue with yourself across time, and this dialogue is shaping everything. So what will you choose? Will you keep forcing, struggling, doubting, or will you begin listening, aligning, trusting? Will you continue to believe you are powerless, or will you embrace the truth that you are in constant conversation with your highest destiny? The life you want is not waiting for you someday. It is calling you now. The guidance has already been arriving, through synchronicities, through whispers, through moments of unshakable knowing. The only question left is, will you listen? Will you act? Will you step into the flow that has been waiting for you since the beginning? Because here is the final truth. Your future is inevitable the moment you align with it. The struggle ends when you stop resisting it. The fear dissolves when you start trusting it. The path reveals itself when you step forward in faith. And once you awaken to this, there is no going back. You are not here by accident. You never were. Every step of your life, every so-called coincidence, every seeming detour has led to this. And this is not the end. This is the beginning. The moment your future self has been preparing you for all along. Now is the time. Now is the choice. Step into alignment. Trust the guidance, follow the flow, and remember, the life you seek has already been lived by you. All you must do is rise to meet it, and you will. Starting now.